met on the Comal. My background is in emergency management, and he was an adjunct instructor for Swiftwater Rescue. They came around in one of the Swiftwater boats, and I knew everyone in the boat except for Travis. So one of the guys stands up to say hello to me, and Travis gooses him with a boat paddle, and he went overboard. And I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but I need to meet him. And we hung out that whole weekend and never stopped hanging out after that. Travis comes from a family of firefighters. His father was a firefighter with Houston. His uncle was a firefighter with Houston. I don't know if there's something else that Travis could have, would have, should have done.
He was just a rock solid human being. We'd risen up through the department together, so I've known him the better part of 25 years. There was the work Travis and there was the off-duty Travis. And the work Travis was the rule follower. You could tell when he was in charge. But then when you get to know off-duty Travis, he was just a big ham and a cut up and had a really dry sense of humor.
He's pretty strict and just a loving dad. Wants the best from us, wants us to exceed in everything we do. And all three of our hobbies, I would say, are hunting, fishing. Always be working in the back pasture in the summer and it's hot, but it's really great memories when you don't really want to be out there, but we're doing it together.
We were burning brush one New Year's Eve. The boys are out there and they're working, and I take this photo where he's pointing, telling the boys to put brush in a certain spot. And I remember yelling, "We're not your crew. You're not on shift." It was just innate in him. He couldn't help himself.
My brother was graduating high school. Me and my dad were sitting at his graduation. It's the long ceremony process. I remember that week he was complaining about having stomach problems or just having a stomach ache.
It was a punch in the gut. Like, Travis was the health guy. I mean, he was a scholarship decathlete at Texas A&M.
I worked out on shift. He swam, he ran, he biked. When we were looking at the different hospice agencies, we saw Christopher House as an option, and the other agencies didn't have that facility. And I told a friend of mine at the time, Travis will never use that. Like, he's gonna wanna be home. My dad was like that. When my dad was on hospice, he wanted to go at home. That was not the case with Travis. Our main goal was to keep him free of pain. And that, unfortunately, with his particular disease and the way that he responded to medications, was not an option we had at home because of the drugs that worked for him. There was something about the interview with Hospice Austin when we were in Travis's hospital room. She spoke to Travis. She spoke to me, and she spoke to us as a unit.
The first thought when we were gonna go there to me was a dark place, a very dark place, and I really didn't want to go to. But Christopher House, it was awesome. It ended up being super pretty, and we'd hang out outside a lot when Dad could go outside. I almost felt like we kind of took over the place a little bit.
There were times where I'd come back from calls at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'd just drive over there and walk in, and I'd just go sit with Travis, and Lauren was sleeping then, and I'd just go sit there for a little while. They made us on a daily basis feel like we were the most important people in the world.
We saw him as a hero, and we talked about how much of a hero he was, but he would constantly turn to us and say, "No, you guys are a hero. What you're doing, what you're helping me do with my family." He said only heroes get to do that.
Station 14 is right down the road. One night I said, "Hey, can you guys get a meal for Lauren?" And they did, and then it turned into, well, the next shift said, "Hey, do you mind if we provide a meal for them?" And it got to the point where it was a competition, because everything's a competition in the fire service. And then Lauren would rate the meals, and she's got a book of everything that happened to Travis, and all the meals are in there.
So she wrote down everybody that came in the room, every medication that was given, everything that we talked about. And I had to pause her for a minute in her notebook and just kind of sit next to her and say, you know what, there's gonna come a point in this journey
that your head and your heart will catch up at the end. We'll catch up to each other. And she's absolutely right. so thankful that a facility like that existed, because it is a beautiful facility with beautiful people.
I can only hope that when I go, that I am surrounded by people that have the care and compassion for people dying that they do, because I don't know how they do what they do. He's still alive in this fire department as far as we're concerned.